The member for Rankin.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. Australia is in the worst recession in almost a century, and this week the Prime Minister cut JobKeeper, cut JobSeeker and cut wages. This hurts families, households, businesses and workers. There are millions of them. Isn't this the worst possible time to cut the support that Australians need? Won't it make the Morrison recession longer and deeper?
The Treasurer has the call.
Well, Mr Speaker, I don't know why the member for Rankin is smiling at a time of a COVID-19-induced recession.
No, the member for Rankin will resume his seat. As difficult as it may seem for him, can only raise a point of order on relevance. He can't have a tit-tat argument, about. Treasurer has the call.
Well, Mr Speaker, he has a glass jaw, and now the fact was, Mr Speaker, that he was smiling. Now, Mr Speaker, $42.5 billion has already gone out to JobKeeper, through JobKeeper to Australian workers, Mr Speaker. More than 3.5 million Australian workers and around 1 million Australian businesses are benefiting from JobKeeper. And the honourable member knows that JobKeeper is a remarkable program. And if he's not going to take my word for it, they are the words of the Governor of the Reserve Bank, Mr Speaker. A remarkable program that is helping to save jobs. And as I've said to this House, as Treasury have estimated, some 700,000 Australian jobs have been saved by JobKeeper, Mr Speaker. And that without JobKeeper, the unemployment rate would be 5 percentage points higher than it is today. Now, Mr Speaker, the member for Rankin should listen to his own previous words, where he said in response to JobKeeper that should be looking at a kind of tapering. He said that on ABC The Business, Mr Speaker. Then the member for Grainler said on the Today Show that we will need a tapering off. And he was asked, what does this mean? And he said it will go down over time. The member for Grainler said on ABC News Breakfast about JobKeeper that we need to shift away. These mechanisms won't be in place forever. The member for Grainler then went on John Law's radio and said of JobKeeper we need some sort of a transition. The member for Grainler, the Leader of the Opposition, then had a doorstop, Mr Speaker, and said in relation to JobKeeper we need a transition, Mr Speaker.
The Treasurer can resume his seat. The Leader of the Opposition on a point of order.
I'm pretty sure that I wasn't the focus of the question, Mr Speaker. It was about the government.
Yes. The reason I'm giving a little bit more latitude, and this is something that member for Rankin, the Treasurer, you're about to. I can tell. I was going to say, what makes it more difficult is when the first 15 seconds of, I won't even say of the question, because it wasn't a question, the first 15 seconds was a series of declarations and statements before the question came. I think the point the Leader of the Opposition is making, I want him to understand how long preambles lead to a broader answer in the question, and it's certainly something I'll discuss with the House when we return after budget week, I can say, but it enables the Treasurer to compare and contrast to an extent, but he's just about done that, I think, and he needs.
The point I was simply making, and this was the subject of the question, that the Leader of the Opposition and the member for Rankin have repeatedly called for a transition in the JobKeeper payment, and that is exactly what is occurring, with an extension and expansion of this record spending program, Mr Speaker, at $101 billion. Now, Mr Speaker, JobKeeper has provided remarkable stories right around this country. It's helped keep people in work and help keep businesses in business, and it's a key part of our JobMaker plan, and it's a key part of our economic recovery.